Well, I'm Tori Hill, and I'm a 20-year resident of Eden Prairie, and I'm running to represent District 48B, which is the southern half of Eden Prairie. I'm a proud mother of 3 children that have grown up in the school district, and I have them in high school, middle school, and elementary schools.
On May 22nd, Tori Hill joined Minnetonka's Lori McKendry and Yvonne Seltzer to file as DFL candidates for the state legislature.
I was also a PTO president at Cedar Ridge several years ago and ran for school board maybe a couple of years ago. And the same reasons for running for school board, I'm running for House of Representatives now, so I can move major issues in a positive direction to make a better future for our children.
For years, the southern half of Eden Prairie has tipped Republican in state and national elections. But the GOP, especially the local GOP, is no longer a good fit for regular mainstream Republicans. That is why I'm delighted that Tori Hill is running for the Minnesota House of Representatives against incumbent Jennifer Loon. Tori Hill, welcome to Democratic Visions.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
Tori, you're running for House Seat 48B. Now, I imagine as a part of your campaign, you end up going door to door and introducing yourself to potential supporters. Is that right?
That will be a very integral part of our campaign because we want to hear their issues and their concerns, and that's what I will represent when I'm in the House. We need more viable candidates in the political system, more diversity, and just a better pool of talent and people that will work collectively to make things happen.
Tori, I know you ran for the Eden Prairie School Board a few years ago, but I want to remind the visitors who you are. Before becoming a full-time homemaker, Tori Hill was sales manager for Fortune 500 companies. Tori is well known in Eden Prairie education circles. She is active with the Foundation for Eden Prairie Schools and was on its board, and also was the PTO president of Cedar Ridge Elementary School. Tori has contributed to school district advisory and budget reduction committees in Sheila Wellstone's Cornerstone organization.
The Wellstone Cornerstone is an advocate for battered women and families that are in unfortunate situations that need shelter and additional aid from abusive situations.
Now, I know that Jennifer Loon, who will be your opponent this fall, has introduced legislation to provide tax credits for private schools. Are you in favor of that?
Education is one of my top initiatives. We are hearing that the Eden Prairie residents and Minnesota residents are appalled that funding is being taken out of the education system.
It seems to me a pretty bad idea, particularly in tough economic times when the school districts are strapped for money as they are.
I agree with you.
Ms. Loon has achieved a 100% rating from the National Rifle Association. Can you envision any circumstances where you would be backed to that degree by that organization?
I do not believe that I would ever be backed to that degree. Weapons, guns, no.
And I think one of the reasons why she achieved that backing is because she was a supporter and voted for what's called, I believe, the Castle Doctrine, which allows anyone to use a deadly force on their property. As opposed to the present law, which allows reasonable force, which seems to me to make a lot of sense. Can you envision any circumstances where you would be supportive of a bill that would allow people to blast somebody away from coming on their property?
Absolutely not.
Now, one of the criticisms that you hear, and I don't know whether it's fair or not, is that there's too much gridlock over in St. Paul in the legislature, and people are reluctant to, in effect, work across the aisles, Democrats working with Republicans and vice versa. Would you be prepared to work with Republicans in order to get something accomplished out here for the citizens of Eden Prairie?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when being in corporate America, a job has to be done, and we are results-oriented. In organizations, you work with all people. You don't know if they're Republican or Democrat. It doesn't matter. It all depends on the end goal and the end result.
You know, in my exchanges with Tori, what I've seen is she's very compassionate and she's a good listener. She listens well to see what someone's concern might be, and then she very thoughtfully approaches, how to solve a problem. When she starts into a project, she goes to completion.
Tori, 21 years in Eden Prairie. Obviously you like the area. What is it that you like about Eden Prairie?
Well, first and foremost, we like Eden Prairie because of the quality school systems that that are offered to our 3 kids. But I also like the diversity. I live in a community where I have an Indian family next to me. I have an Asian family on the other side. I have a Caucasian family across the way. We interact with the Somalian community, and then the number of parks that are around the area that I live, the activities, the community involvement. It's clean. It's an easy place to raise a family. That's the reason it was voted the best city to live in the United States. My husband Leon served in the Army in Turkey during the Vietnam era.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Our city's Veterans Memorial really resonates for everyone who visits.
You knew former Mayor Jean Harris, correct?
Oh, she was a phenomenal woman. We had the opportunity to attend many functions that she put together as mayor. She was a doctor, she was an activist, she was a leader. She brought diversity and inclusion to the city, and this bridge and the plaque and this whole park is very representative of the kind of person and the quality of an individual that Dr. Jean Harris was.
Well, my mom, she's very straightforward, so she'll tell you the truth, and no matter what, and she's just very nice, and you'll find her smiling and laughing. And
she has a good heart. She's really passionate about fairness and equality for all people of all types, and she's just a good person overall.
About the marriage amendment, I've heard from a lot of residents in 48B, and I've heard their views, and my actual positioning is that I will vote against that amendment. The voter ID amendment to the Constitution, I cannot support that amendment because that will take away a lot of votes from a lot of people. Many of the people that I've spoken to in Eden Prairie oppose this amendment as well.
Tori, after you're elected, you're going to be sent over to St. Paul and have the opportunity to serve on certain committees. Now, we're going to assume that the Democrats are in the majority, so you'll have your pick of committees. Which committees would you like to serve on?
The one that's best suited for my background and my passion would be education. We need to prepare our kids to be globally prepared. So I think being on the education committee would be my cup of tea.
Tori Hill, you're exactly what the voters of Southern Eden Prairie, House District 48B, are looking for. A moderate individual to send over to St. Paul.
Thank you. I plan to reclaim our priorities.
That's it.
Thanks.
Democratic Visions is handmade by volunteers through DFL Senate District 48, Eden Prairie and Minnetonka. Lori Pryor, Chair.